Hey, welcome to another episode of
Stuff with Wolverine.
Okay, so today we're going to be making homemade bisquick. What we're going to need is 3 cups of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, half a tablespoon of salt, half a cup of lard, 2 big bowls, a sifter, a pastry blender, or as I like to use, 2 knives because I don't own a pastry blender, and then a jar to store it all in. Step 1, you're going to set up your bowls, going to grab your sifter, and you are going to sift your flour. Pouring it directly into the bowl went really well, so now we're going to try and make our own funnel out of notes we made and pour it into that. Hey, that doesn't look too bad. Not bad at all. Oh wait, it just broke everywhere. So we made a mess with that, but we're still going to add our salt and our baking powder. Looking good. Sift side away. Yep. We're on to sift number 2, return of the sift. And we're using a 1 cup measuring cup because I had to pick the largest measuring cup I had because I wanted to pour it all over my stupid hand. So that's why we use the 1 cup measuring cup. But wait for some TV magic after this short sift. Yeah, my hand's clean and the cup got much smaller and this seems to be working out much better. I am very proud of myself for figuring out this situation and fixing it. Alright, good job, Grit. Re-pour it. Back my sift up. Oh! I've actually never made homemade biscuits before, but I decided it looked pretty easy, so I'm going to give it a shot. And it called for a pastry blender, which I'm not a baker, and I ended up looking up DIY pastry things because I spent my 72-cent budget on flour. So that's just out of the budget. And it said you could use 2 knives. So now we're adding to our flour, baking powder, and salt mixture our shortening. Remember, it's half a cup. So this is where we find out if you actually need a pastry cutter. Okay, first cut seems pretty easy.
And you just kind of cut it into your mixture. At least that's what the professional baker said on the instructional video.
You gotta cut it in until it resembles cornmeal. So you can't have big hunks of shortening lying around. Dude, this flour is so fluffy I can't even tell if I need to cut it anymore. But yeah, we're on a really tight budget because right now I'm like the quarantine queen. So I'm like living my best little house on the prairie dream and like making everything from scratch because our weekly like food budget is like $4. So that's fun. But I mean, if you guys like want to buy me a pastry blender or give me money for ingredients, I'll name something after you. Like, let's say your name's Thomas and you donate the $15 I need for this really nice pastry blender. I will refer to that pastry blender as Thomas anytime I make a video with it included. That'd be kind of fun, having a kitchen utensil named after you. And then if I kill it, like I've done 7 actual blenders in the past, we'll have a funeral. And I'll record the funeral and maybe have someone play on the piccolo, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. It'll be really cute. It'll be everything that appliance ever needed. But yeah, I need a pastry blender. This is ridiculous. I can't even tell if I've cut everything in. But we're going to find out how this recipe turns out when I make my homemade spinach pancake. I went to the store. I was buying all-purpose flour during coronavirus apocalypse, and as Queen Quarantine, I couldn't find any bisquick for these spinach pancakes. But then I like looked at the cost of it, and I was like, well, dang. Why don't I just make some from scratch? Then I thought about it, and there was like barely any flour left, which isn't ever a thing at the grocery store. So for those of you that just went out and bought flour thinking that I'm in the apocalypse now, so I'm going to start baking, shame on you. But here I am to make it a little bit easier for you. But anyway, so I was looking at that recipe online and I was like, oh, that looks pretty easy. And I was like, pastry blender, who needs that? but now I'm starting to realize I do. So yeah, if you want a pastry blender named after you, Jeff, or Steven, or Allison, or Brent, or Leviticus, whatever. If you want it named after you, or you want to pick a name that's actually like appropriate, not something filthy that I would name it, then go ahead and send me money for it and then put your name below and I'll pick that name. Or you can always donate to a bag of flour or some eggs, and I will call the item that I'm using by that name until I run out. Like, let's say you buy a 5-pound bag of flour and your name is Robert. I will call that bag of flour Robert until I run out. Oh my gosh, that seems pretty funny. Okay, I think this is like the consistency we're going for. I'll show you that. And then we can pour it into our beautiful, expensive jars that we ordered online at that really fancy store. Here is what your flour is going to look like, or your bisquick, Quizbig, because we don't want to get sued. I don't know if we can get sued. I'm not making any money. All right, so that's what it looks like. I broke my fake funnel. You already saw that. Shit. Boo! Whoop! All right, so I found a real funnel and also a chopstick, which you'll see what that's for because I've made this mistake with beans in the past. So we're gonna go ahead, pour that in there. Oh, you see how it's not pouring? But wait, here's our chopstick we got from H Mart when times were much simpler. I love that place so much. Bought a bunch of masks there, like 20 paper masks for like $10. That's a deal. And it's been really great because I've been locked in the house, so I've been like keeping up on face masks and organizing my pantry in alphabetical order and crying in my closet. You know, all the normal post-apocalyptic stuff. It's really fun. And making homemade bisquick because there wasn't any at the store, because people that never use bisquick all of a sudden need bisquick. They need to get out of my pioneer dream. Get their own thing. That's fine. I've been a solid supporter of bisquick for as long as I can remember.
And I just found out recently that they use palm oil, which I'm totally against. I hate that.
So I think if this works out, we're going to start making this from scratch ourselves. Because that was super easy, except for the whole cutting and the shortening thing. Like, I'm seeing hunks of shortening now. We'll see how my pancakes look. If they don't look good, we're going to have to figure something else out. Or maybe I'll get that pastry blender of my dreams. Yo, we might actually fit most of this in this jar. That's going to be so dope. And this is good for up to 3 months. I don't think it'll last that long because you're going to end up making a bunch of pancakes while you're home on quarantine vacation. But, I mean, I go through a boatload of this stuff because I use it to make pancakes. I use it to make biscuits. I make drop biscuits that are kind of like that one seafood restaurant, their biscuits. You know the one that has really crappy, chewy lobster tail, but they're still in business for God knows why. People don't know what good lobster tail tastes like. Whatever. But I make biscuits that resemble theirs, and they are so good. Maybe I'll do that some video too. Yeah, but yeah, I use it for biscuits, chicken and dumpling, waffles, pancakes, savory pancakes, which I can't wait to show you. Like, I tell my friends that my kid's favorite food is spinach pancakes, which sounds really gross, but you're probably thinking about it with syrup. But she loves it. All right, and that is how you make homemade bisquick. It was quite a journey. I'm glad we got to go on it together, and this was my first time not doing a voiceover. So that's kind of fun. We'll see how that turns out. And if you do make this at home, please, 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 please let me know how it turned out. Let me know if you tried anything different. Let me know if you made anything fun with it. Let me know what other fun things you've been doing while on quarantine. Because, I mean, yesterday I made cinnamon rolls for the first time ever. I set up an herb garden that I've been fantasizing about for what, 3 years. I just put the wrong lid on the wrong jar. I mean, everything you dream. Let me know what you've been up to. 'Cause I'm going crazy. Alright, so this is our side-by-side. This is our actual bisquick that I had left over in the bag. It's really tight and coarse, and it looks kind of like cornmeal, like I said earlier. And then this is our homemade stuff. First attempt, not horrible, but there are hunks of shortening in there. So I think with a pastry blender that could be fixed. I don't think the 2-knife technique works 100%, but it was a good effort, and it doesn't look too bad. Alright, so thanks for coming and watching the video, and I will see you next time.